Now to KwaZulu-Natal, the ANC in the province has called the murder of another of its councillors callous and cowardly. The ANC councillor in Ward 84 in the eThekwini region was shot dead at his home in Umlazi last night. Let's get the very latest. Our reporter Ayanda Mhlongo is covering this story for us. Ayanda, what are you learning?
Yeah, very good morning to you, Blaine. Good morning to our viewers at home. Well, we are in the area of Ngonyameni here in the Umlazi township outside the home of the late ANC councillor for this ward, Ward 84, Bhekithemba Phungula. And as you can possibly see behind us, Blaine, the members of the ANC from the eThekwini region, which is the ANC's largest region, not only here in KwaZulu-Natal, but also around the country, as well as the councillors from the eThekwini municipality. They are here to pay their respects to the family. And the information that we are told from the police is that last night, Councillor Phungula had just arrived here at his home. He was travelling in his car with his wife and other family members. And when they entered the home, a lone gunman had apparently was already lying in wait inside the yard. He was then shot multiple times. The gunmen then leaving, running away from the scene. Of course, it has come as a great shock to the African National Congress, to the eThekwini municipality, and of course residents in the area. Just earlier on, Blaine, we tried to speak to the family, and they're saying to us that they too are distraught to speak at the moment, and just speaking about what could possibly be the reasons. Many of the people that we've at least tried to speak to saying at this moment a motive is not known. We do know that the case has already now been taken over by the task team that has set up to investigate political killings. The investigators are now leading the investigation into the killing of Councillor Phungula. Of course, Blaine, you'd know as the ANC, as you're reading in your statement there, what the ANC's remarks have been on this latest killing. This brings now to about 9 the members of the ANC that have been killed in the past month. Just a few weeks ago, in fact, we were speaking to the secretary of the ANC in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, Mtumseni Ntuli. He was saying that they're extremely concerned about this latest wave of killings, and it seems that these killings are continuing unabated. And what he said is that they would are appealing to this task team that has been set up to investigate these killings to speed up their work. They're saying when the task team started in 2018, it was really making breakthroughs in a number of cases, and they have not been seeing as many arrests and progress in those cases. Of course, with COVID-19 as well, understandably, investigators might have been disrupted in terms of their investigations, but we've been speaking, Blaine, over the past weeks and so. In fact, we've been going back to some of the relatives of the councillors and ANC members who've lost their lives in the more recent years, and many are still waiting for answers. And this is what the ANC is saying, that they need to speed up these investigations. They need to find out what is the motive behind these killings, whether or not it is internal or whether these are matters that are unrelated to the party. But also, Blaine, another important point that people have been raising is that they fear that the province of KwaZulu-Natal is a province that is synonymous or notorious with political violence, and they fear a resurgence of violence if it continues this way and if these cases are not solved. They fear that this could bring about instability in the province. And of course, we already know we now talking about the election possibly next year, and so there's heightened fears. You'd know that in any usually when there's election in KwaZulu-Natal, these incidents tend to happen. I must add, Blaine, of course, that we do not know what the motive for this incident is at the moment. The police are busy with that investigation, Blaine.
But you say 9 members of the ANC killed in the last month, surely concerning for the party. You say that they're calling for investigations to be speeded up, but what are you hearing from your sources on the ground in terms of the progress being made in these investigations?
Yeah, Blaine, a lot of concern from the ANC members. You know, in the last incidents, we've covered almost all of these killings. In fact, the last ones were in the area of Hammersdale, where 2 ANC Youth League leaders were killed a week apart. And there too, members of the ANC in that area, although they're saying that, yes, we do not know what the motive is, but they're saying they cannot help but fear what is happening here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. And what makes them more fearful is that with the incidents that have already happened in the past several years, many of those cases are in court, but those matters are yet to be heard. And so the motive for these killings is yet unknown. And many are saying that they want to find out who the perpetrators of these incidents, of these crimes are. And that is going to give them an indication whether or not these crimes are linked to internal infighting, internal squabbles within the ANC, or they could be matters outside. The fear is that if they continue, they becomes a finger pointing amongst their own members if an idea or motive is not known. They finger pointing and people start talking around themselves, speculation on what could be the possible motives. And many people, Blaine, I must tell you, are very, very fearful. In fact, here, Blaine, since we've been here, we've tried to attempt to speak to a number of people to get interviews, and a lot of people here are saying the situation is now out of control and we are afraid to now speak to the media, fearing for our own lives. Blaine?
All right, Ayanda Mhlongo live for us in Umlazi, KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you very much indeed for your reporting.